Let me say that I am proud to attach myself to the previous words of those in support of this measure. And I will say very clearly and directly, we do need immigration reform. I don't think that is in dispute. Let me speak to the present. We do need immigration reform, and we need reform that is balanced. We need reform that respects human rights. We need reform that respects workers' rights. And we need reform that respects the rule of law. In addition, we need immigration reform that respects border security. But I say to you that we can only have border security if we have an orderly system of immigration, one that is thoughtful and cognizant of the presence of 12 million immigrants who are here, who are freely and welcomely employed by businesses who benefit and profit from them, who provide us in California with many of our major industries: ag, tourism, hospitality, service. They keep us globally competitive. They provide the quality of life that we have. In many instances, they ensure that women and men can both work because they're there to take care of other people's children, other people's parents. Yes, we do need immigration reform, and I'm glad to stand with my colleagues. We do need respect for the law, but we also know that the law must reflect our reality. That's what our president tells us. I was happy to hear some of the previous comments about citizenship and the duties and responsibilities of citizenship, the duty we have to speak up, the quotes from President Lincoln. Martin Luther King said that the measure of a person is not where he stands in times of comfort or convenience, but where he stands at the moments of controversy, the controversies of our day. And when I think about history, I wonder where I would stand on the question of slavery. It was legal. It was wrong. And we changed that law. The series of protests, efforts, a civil war. It was legal, but we changed that law. I wonder where I would have stood on the question of women's suffrage. It was also legal that only men voted in this country. I wonder where I would have stood on the question of Japanese internment. That was legal. It was wrong. I was a mere teenager during the Vietnam War, and I knew I walked out of school then. I protested the war. It was legal. I think we agree that it was wrong. But we are here today. And it's true, we are a nation of law, but we are a nation of ever-changing laws. And so when people say, Senator Cedillo, what don't you get about the word legal? And what I don't get is how it is that 12 million people are employed. And the debate is only on the people who are working, not the people who are profiting. That's the part I don't get. For 20 years, we've had employer sanctions on the books. We haven't enforced it. We had a very dramatic enforcement last week, interestingly, at the height of this debate. But for 20 years, we haven't enforced it. How do 12 million people get jobs? Let me say to you, 12 million people don't take jobs. No one in this country takes a job. People apply for a job, they're offered employment, and they accept those terms of employment. You don't walk into the fields of California and start picking tomatoes in Oceanside and then hope that somebody will pay you. You don't go into the fields of the Central Valley and pick raisins and hope that somebody will pay you. Now, unfortunately, this season, we didn't have enough workers in either of those places. But you don't go and just start doing work at someone's house or somebody's factory and hope that somebody will pay you. What you do is you apply for a job and somebody hires you. That's the part about illegal I don't get. You've heard my discussion about other parts of what's illegal. Illegal to pollute the air, and we give people small credits. Illegal not to pay your taxes, and we give you amnesty. Illegal not to provide access for disabled persons, and we introduce legislation to eliminate that. That part of illegal I don't get. We've talked about what part of illegal I don't get. Well, I don't get the part where we'll give a license to someone who's a child molester. One of the we'll give a license to somebody who's a child molester. That part I don't get. We'll give a driver's license to somebody who uses a vehicle in the commission of a crime. That part of illegal I don't get. And so we're here today simply saying, look, let's acknowledge our history, the traditions of social change in this country. Let's recognize that people are beginning to move towards a balanced approach to immigration reform. Let's recognize that people are doing that peacefully, with the right symbols, the American flags, and wearing white. Let's recognize that it's difficult for young people who are born in this country, but whose parents are immigrants, to hear a debate by adults that are going to criminalize their parents. They're loving parents who all they know of them is that they take the early bus and they take 2 jobs to take care of other people's kids, and that for that reason they're going to be felons. Let's recognize that those young people may miss a day of school, but will take a wealth of education in the day that they do.